Obama loyalists are about to face a collusion crap storm by Aaron Moreno for truthfeednews.com. For over a year now, liberals have been working tirelessly to dig up evidence of collusion between the 2016 Trump campaign and Russia. But ironically, the only solid evidence of foreign collusion has been shown to have occurred on the left. Many experts believe that McCabe's firing is just the tip of the iceberg, and judging by the reactions of Obama loyalists, the soon-to-be released Inspector General's report is set to bring a collusion bloodbath to the Obama-era DOJ and FBI. From Town Hall, the firing of Andrew McCabe, the discovery of his private notes, quote, the ill-tempered response by other Obama loyalists, and a yet-to-be-disclosed Inspector General's report on the investigation that began before Donald Trump had come to office are all pieces of a story that dwarfs the still absent evidence of anything Trump and company did to cooperate with Russians in changing votes in Michigan and Wisconsin. So many Democrats and Republicans have asserted the lack of evidence in the Russian collusion issue. It's become comical, if not annoying, to endure as the uninformed continue to argue otherwise. But few have had interest in addressing a separate issue that demands attention. For while the Russians attempted mass chaos, the more serious scandal appears to have covered up criminal behavior, illicit manipulation of the FISA process in an attempt to undo the quite serious results of an election. If there's anything more sacred in our representative republic, is there anything? The scandal that goes mostly unmentioned began before the election had even occurred, but appears to have continued well past the final results of election night, with one candidate winning 30 of 50 states and racking up a 304 to 227 victory in the Electoral College. A victory that looks increasingly historic in light of what increasingly appears to be the collusion of the then current administration with one campaign, and in instance after instance attempting to push their thumb on the scale of the outcome. The Democrats' illicit partnership with the Obama Justice Department and what appears to be an increasingly corrupt leadership at the FBI was yet one more logistical hurdle that President Trump would have to overcome in his surprising and transformational win. Yeah, and surprising and transformational win, yes. If you remember, though, my radio show discussed at length the reports that surfaced in October of 2016 in reaction to the bizarre July 5th announcement by the FBI Director James Comey. FBI officials revealed that members of the DOJ and FBI investigative teams that had worked the Hillary email case were angered and disgusted that the co-opted DOJ and FBI leadership ignored the very real analysis of evidence and decided against bringing criminal indictment against Hillary Clinton for the handling of top-secret information. More than 100 FBI agents that worked the case and more than 6 DOJ attorneys expressed their disgust, according to a source within the group. It was later revealed that Comey had been prepared to exonerate Clinton in February of that year, when he would yet not interview her until months later. She was also granted an interview instead of being asked to testify under oath, We discovered later that Team Hillary's operation paid for opposition research on Trump that included the hiring of disgraced British ex-spy, a law firm attached to Hillary, and a collection of accusations largely originating from Russian sources. This dossier was mostly discredited upon its discovery, yet this partisan piece of opposition research for a campaign formed the basis for secretive surveillance on Trump campaign members and was continually extended. The other rationales for the FISA warrants included sources that also traced back to Hillary Clinton, one of them being a significant donor to the Clinton Foundation. Yet, that disgraced ex-spy remained on retainer by the FBI beyond the discovery that the dossier was in large measure useless. Why would the Obama administration have him there at all? Enter the illicit relationship between Agents Strzok and Page and the fact that from before election night to well afterwards, it appears a coordinated effort to undo the election results were thought to be a backstop by then Deputy Director McCabe, and you have the elements leading the investigation into all of it that willfully leaked information, a crime in itself, to press that slanted in a decidedly pro-Hillary and anti-Trump direction. Shuffle into the mix Loretta Lynch meeting with Bill Clinton on a tarmac, Dr. Susan Rice penning an imaginative record, quote, of a president instructing, quote, investigators to play it by the book, Comey penning what should be considered classified and protected notes of conversations he had with the new president, and then wholesale gives them to people outside of government. And this weekend, Deputy Director McCabe admitting to evidently employing a similar practice. Add to the mix conflicting testimony from former Director Comey before Congress on back-to-back highly publicized visits. What the universe has truly ignored is the fact that the Inspector General's investigation, which has been far less publicized than Special Counsel Robert Mueller's, and in large measure has had much more devastating impact. Agents have been fired, reassigned, and otherwise dealt with just within the process of the investigation. The limited amount of what we've seen from the efforts thus far have painted a picture of corruption at the highest levels and potentially Watergate comparable outcomes upon the report's insurance. I would say it's Watergate times a million. McCabe's firing was directly linked to the IG's findings, and once revealed to the Justice Department's disciplinary powers, a concurrent recommendation was termination. That Comey, McCabe, and others have practiced, an obvious double standard in the email case of Hillary Clinton, where ample evidence caused 106 of the case agents and attorneys working on the case to believe indictment would occur, and simultaneously going to such extraordinary measures through the assistance of essentially Hillary's campaign operation to attempt to thwart the outcome of the election is more than enough reason to go after them on a criminal basis alone. That McCabe reportedly lied to the low-key Inspector General while attempting to send General Michael Flynn to prison for lying to the same FBI is of highest hypocrisy. But hypocrisy is what Comey, McCabe, Strzok, and others seem especially gifted at. In some respects, Robert Mueller never asked for the position he finds himself in, but If he is not willing to look at the evidence before him and truly follow where it leads, then it is time for him to go as well. There was collusion in the election of 2016. It involved Russians, a British ex-spy law firm, FBI agents, DOJ attorneys, and FBI director that prejudged evidence, an attorney general that had an unethical meeting with the spouse of a target, FISA warrants obtained on faulty information that stemmed from political sources, a deputy director whose wife received monetary support in an election, an FBI director who lied to Congress, an FBI deputy director who lied to the Justice Department's Inspector General, loads of classified materials that were mishandled and criminally passed to those without clearances, the partisan hacks spearheading inquiries aiming for political outcomes. The scope of this collusion is overwhelming. The attempts are a damning indictment of political operatives that have lost all integrity and, sadly, an administration, a major political party, and agents of a deep state that attempted in a wide, sweeping number of ways to undo an election that they lost. Former high-ranking FBI officials like Chris Swetzer, who appeared with Harris Faulkner's Fox News broadcast on Friday, believe that the Inspector General's coming report will be explosive. For the sake of justice, above all else, I hope it brings clarity to a story our modern media landscape is highly invested in keeping as convoluted as possible. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Do you see? Do you see all these players? And this is just the tip of the iceberg as to what's going on. I mean, it is a disgrace, to tell you the truth. It is a disgrace to our nation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.